there, this is your roving reporter Carl Reiner here at LaGuardia Airport, awaiting the arrival of a plane load of eminent visitors, among them the distinguished Viennese authority on mountain climbing and one of the world's greatest mountain climbing guides. Here he is now, Professor Ludwig von Snowcap. Good evening, Professor. Professor, I understand you just conquered one of the most difficult and dangerous mountains in the world.
Oh, yes, we just finished that, V. It's a very dangerous mountain.
Yes.
We just climbed Mount Slippery.
Mount Slippery.
Boy, that's in the Banana Valley, you know.
Oh, I know. Were there any...
Slipping and sliding, that's all we did.
Were there any bad accidents?
Well...
There was somebody on the other end of that.
There was somebody on the other end.
Well, I imagine you're wearing that in sentimental memory of this person.
No, I just holds my pants up, that's all. That was a rat. I like to see him go. He was no good.
Well, Professor, who is the greatest...
No, friend.
Who is the greatest climber of all time?
Hillary Dillery.
Hillary.
Hillary Dillery was the finest mountain climber. He was a scamper.
Yes. Well, what did
He was really at home in the mountains.
What did he do,
Boy.
Professor?
Huh?
What was his claim to fame?
Well, he climbed the top peak.
Top peak.
Top's Peak. He climbed that. He broke a record there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How fast?
He went up there in 3 days, 17 hours, and 4 minutes.
Was that a record?
No, that wasn't the record. He broke the record on the way down. 10 seconds. Flat! When I say flat, I mean flat. Stick him up with a jellyfish spoon. Boy, you should see him.
Professor, who is... many people have gone to Mount Everest. Why is it that you, one of the greatest mountain climbers, have never attempted to...
What's the matter with you?
attempt to go...
What's the matter with you?
Never read anything about you going there.
You never read anything about me going?
No.
1935, you don't remember me, my expedition?
No, I don't.
What's the matter? Well, we formed an expedition there in 1935. I got 5 of the greatest mountain climbers in the world.
Really?
We assembled in New York City here, and we assembled our equipment, you know. We had special equipment. We got all together, and on a fateful day, on the fateful day of October 18th, 1935, we left New York City to conquer Mount Everest.
Well, what happened, Professor?
Well, you know, it's an old story, but we didn't reach the peak. We didn't. No, you should see those men were gallant. They tried, but it was to no avail.
Well, how far did they get?
Well, we got about as far as 23rd Street and Broadway. Northbound traffic was horrible. Yes, and the fellas were honking the horn, please get out of the way. We gotta conquer Mount Everest. No, they wouldn't move. Well, a lousy bus driver was changing a transfer. He stopped the whole expedition. And he bought so much stuff, corned beef sandwiches with pastrami. Well prepared. We had a gallon of tea and everything.
Well, Professor, I wonder while you're up on the mountain, you're held by this rope, is there anything you can do if the rope breaks?
What?
Can you do anything about saving yourself if the rope breaks?
Didn't you read my book on rope breaking?
No, I didn't.
You didn't read that? Well, that's my famous theory. Then you are on top of a mountain. And you're climbing up there. Yes. And you're climbing up to the top of the mountain, and you climb, and all of a sudden you see that your rope is going to snap.
Yes.
Now you have about 2 seconds to act.
2 seconds to act.
Immediately you see your rope is breaking, you have 2 seconds, and you start to scream. And you keep screaming all the way down. So there's nowhere to find you, yeah. Look nice if you don't find it.
Yes, well, isn't there any other method you can use?
Yes, there is an alternative.
Oh,
you have an alternative.
What is that?
Well, the alternative is if you see your rope is breaking.
Yes.
And you again have 2 seconds to act.
2 seconds.
Immediately, when you see your rope breaking, the alternative is to immediately spread your arms full and start to fly as hard as you can.
People just can't fly.
How do you know? You may be the first one. You got nothing to lose. You can always go back to screaming. That's always waiting for you.
I don't like to bring this up, but your friend Hans, was he a flyer or a screamer?
Hans was a flying screamer. And what a bouncer.
Professor, did you personally ever fall off any high place?
You're looking at a fella that took a flop, kid. I took a flop from a mountain. Mount Slide.
Mount Slide.
I fell off the tip top.
Really?
That's right. Fell off the tip top of Mount Slide, 17,780 feet. Straight down, no curve. Straight.
Were you badly hurt, Professor?
See that?
Yes.
That's the original me. All the rest is new. I was once a short redhead, you know. It was a very good plastic surgeon.
Well, Professor, you know, I saw a few movies on mountain climbing lately, and when the climbers happen to be on top of the mountains, they seem to be walking very, very slowly.
Well, you see, when you're conquering a mountain, first of all, you have to know why you want to conquer a mountain. See, everybody asks, why does a man conquer a mountain? Why does a... And, of course, to me, it's silly, but to you, mountain climbing is silly, too. You understand?
That's true, Professor.
But you don't know the feeling of climbing a mountain. When you climb a mountain, you're up there, you understand? When you say, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you. When you start to climb, and you climb, when you pull yourself up, when you scrape, when you crawl, and finally you get nearer the peak. And then, when you finally reach the peak, you're on the summit, you plant your flag when you look out over the top of the world. And it's only then that you realize that your wife can't reach you.
Well, that still doesn't answer my question. I mean, when they're really on top of the mountain, they seem to be moving very slowly. What's the cause of that?
Oh, let's see. That's from the rarefied air pressure, you understand?
I see.
See, there's not much oxygen in the air.
It makes them walk...
See, they walk very slow, you understand?
Yeah, I wonder what that would feel like.
It's like a weight on your back, you understand? You can't...
I couldn't imagine that.
Well, let me show you. See, here. See, now, that's here. When you're about 10,000 feet, it's about like that.
Yes, and you feel
start to walk. See?
Yeah, I see.
Then when you get about 15, 20,000 feet, it gets like that. See?
Yeah, it's a little heavier.
Yeah, that's right. But then when you get up to about 30,000 feet, it's like that. See, that's how it is.
See, and you have to walk very
That's
slowly.
right. See, that's how it is.
Well, it doesn't feel too badly, Professor.
It doesn't?
No.
Then take me over to 81st Street. You can drop me over.